What's going on, everybody? Triple Crown 24 back today on a Monday. Got a couple of cards to show off before I show off one in particular I got in the mail today that ties into the theme of today's video that I'm very excited to talk about. So let's show these off here. I got this 2017 Topps gold label. Always love my gold labels. This is the Class 3, one that I just had eluded me in this time. So nice to get that. These two as well, very elusive. 2013 Topps Heritage short print, and then a 2017 Topps Heritage short print. So these, I've seen people asking like $8, $10, $12 for these on eBay or at shows in Detroit, and just not willing to pay that much. So waited it out. Sure enough, finally found the deal that was right for me. So very happy to finally get those, and then just slowly picking away at some of the 2020 Heritage ones. I've really not done very well picking up 2020 Heritage cards. I have lost more auctions than I care to admit to. But this is a purple refractor from the hot boxes. I believe you can also get these in retail. Really, really nice looking card. So got those in. And when I went to the mailbox today, this is what I was looking forward to. I didn't know if those were going to come in or not. They were both, all those were PWE shipments, so those were nice little bonuses. But I knew for sure I had this waiting for me. And I woke up this morning and I saw the purchase history page on my eBay. I clicked on the tracking to see, oh, is it here yet? And it said arrival at unit, and that's those are words that are always music to my ears. Arrival at unit. That means I'm getting some mail today. But this is the 2019 Topps Transcendent Collection sketch reproduction. This is the franchise favorites set that they did this year, or last year, I guess now. They're numbered to 100, so you get each of these sketch reproductions in each box of Transcendent. A product that cost $27,500 a box, so it is the ultimate buy singles product, and that's what I did here. And I got this card for $14.97. Now, there's a reason I know that price, down to the penny. That's because one of the questions that I get when I show off cards like this, so unique cards or cards that I'm really excited about, is usually number one, congratulations, or nice card. Those are always very encouraging. I appreciate those. And then in terms of actual questions, it's more so, how much did you pay for it and where did you get it? And a lot of times the answer is eBay, and then I'm more than happy to tell them what I paid for it. If they ask, it's not something that I usually just put out there without provocation, but if you ask, I'll gladly tell you. And in this case, I had quite a few people ask, and they said, wow, that's a really good deal. And I thought so too. And I don't think it's a good deal in terms of, well, let me rephrase that. It is a below average price for this card. Is it an insane deal based on price? No. But based on the quality of the card, yes, it's an insane deal. I'm not a huge sketch fan, to be frank. I've never really gone after a lot of the Miggy sketches I've seen that they put in Topps products. I have last year's Transcendent highlights where he's with the Marlins, but after seeing this one, and I think if you see one of these in person, you'll get what I mean. It is, I can't unsee how much better this one is than my 2018 one, which I was actually a big fan of. I brought it out yesterday to take a look at it ahead of getting this one. And now that I see this, I can't unsee the superior quality to it. So it's in this really nice gold frame, which I just think that presentation of it is cool. It's numbered to 100, so they're fairly limited. It's kind of got that mystique behind it, that it's from a product that costs $27,500 a box. So it's a big time product. You get a piece of it here. And I guess Transcendent as a product itself throughout the years is kind of becoming a release that is very, I don't even know how to describe it. It's highly regarded in baseball card lore, maybe. That I don't know. That was my best attempt at it. But for how nice this card is, and for my collection, I thought that at $15 it was an incredible deal. Just you don't get cards of this quality for that price all that often. And that is what was one of the things that inspired me today to talk about this topic, and that would be the hashtag less than a blaster. So this is something that I've seen for several years now, and I really don't know where or how it originated or why this is the benchmark for a lot of people. But I see a lot of posts on various forums, social media places, and even some of our own YouTubers here will use it as well when I pick up a card, and that is less than a blaster. Some people use it as a hashtag for those who are into the hashtags. And what it means is that I got this card for under $20. So you go to Target, Walmart, wherever your card retailer of choice is, buy a blaster box, and I get it's technically $21.99 plus tax now, but it's usually in your head you're thinking $20 for a blaster. So I really don't know how this kind of became the benchmark, but I know that I've seen some crazy cards that people have gotten for under $20. And whenever I've kind of weighed cards like this with a buddy or whoever it may be, someone who I'm going to for advice, I will ask them, what do you think about this for this price? And sometimes they'll use it in unit of blasters, like, oh, that's only 4 blasters. Think about that. And I don't know why that's the perspective that is used so often. I find that intriguing. But the point of today's video is to kind of show you some of my favorite cards I've picked up for quote unquote less than a blaster. So some of my $20 and under pickups, and maybe some of these will inspire some people out there or encourage or open you to some ideas for what you could add to your collection. But I thought this would be a fun little video topic here as we're 7.5 minutes in and finally getting down to it. So I have a few different categories for my favorite ones. So my first one is just going to be cards that look really cool. So these are your type of one-off cards. They only did them 1 year. Maybe it's part of a gimmick like this card was. It's part of a promotion like this card was, whatever the case may be. So this is the Diamond Die Cut. These were prizes. I believe this one, with how thick it is one of the ones that was exclusive to the online game. So you would go on to Topps's giveaway website, and you'd enter in these little diamond anniversary code cards, and you'd get these digital rings that if you got all 60 of the rings, then you would get a special diamond ring or whatever of Topps to celebrate their 60th anniversary. So that was a big chase back in the day. It was to get the Mickey Mantle ring. I remember that because I had all of them but Mantle, and there was only 60 of the Mantle rings out there. So pretty much you had to enter in the code and get one yourself to get it, because there was no way that anyone was trading theirs away. So this one right here was really cool, and it was one that I really wanted for a long time when that diamond set came out. But the shipping on those was a pain. I won't go into that. That's a separate video. But a lot of those Topps early 2010s promotions, the shipping aspect of that one and the million card giveaway was not ideal for collectors. So finally, all these years later, last year, I got together with a guy who used to collect a lot of Cabrera stuff that was kind of rare, and this was one of the cards that I bought off of him. So this is just kind of one of those oddball cards. I think it was like $10 to $15 or something, but it's a really cool card, one of my favorite ones to look at. And yeah, I've got it in the one touch as well that shows you that really stands out to me. Let me go into the next one. So the next one would be rare stuff. This is one I showed off not all that long ago. I think it was back in March. It's a 2020 Topps Decade's Best Chrome. So these are the 10 exclusives. Red Refractor, and it is numbered 1 of 10. So aside from it being an eBay 1 of 1, it's numbered to 10, so it's pretty rare in terms of how desirable this card will be, say 5 years down the line. I'm not so sure. I mean, this is going to be a one-off type of thing. This also, I would say, kind of falls into a gimmicky type of Topps deal, because the theme pretty much in Series 1 was the celebration of the decades. We're starting a new decade now with the 2020s, so kind of looking back at the previous decades and baseball players from them. So I don't imagine this is one that every Miguel Cabrera collector has to have, but it's rare. It's numbered to 10. And this is one that was right in that $15 to $20 range. I forget the exact price, but I know it was under 20 to pick it up. So that was a very welcome addition there, and it's a rare one. It's numbered to 10. It's got some nice shine on it as well. Let me move into ones that have more of a pedigree behind them. So that would be the Topps Blacks. Some of these, depending on who your player is that you collect, or you might not be able to get these for under $20. It's really just dependent on how you choose to collect. So if you collect, say, Ronald Acuna Jr., Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, these are probably not going to be in your wheelhouse for under $20 unless you get an insanely good deal, which you can get. I'm going to talk about a card that I got an insanely good deal on a little later, but this would be a card that I would target if maybe you're looking for someone who's not one of the hottest names in the hobby, if that's who your focus is, or if your player is at least has been around since they released the Topps Blacks, I believe starting in 2003, I want to say. I should probably know that, but these are cards that are released every single year by Topps, so you have that consistency with them. And really in the last few years, the golds and the blacks, especially the golds, have really skyrocketed a lot. I would say that the golds have had a higher multiplier than maybe the blacks from what I've seen in some of the videos that I've done in the past. I've kind of talked about that. But in general, some of the blacks you can get for under $20 still. A lot of the golds are very much attainable for that price as well. But these are a little bit more rare, and they have a little bit more mystique behind them, because I believe they are exclusive to jumbo boxes now, but I know they're hobby only, at least. I think they're hobby only, and I think you can get them out of regular hobby boxes as well. But basically, I mean, you got to drop at least $70 pretty much to get a 2020 Topps box with tax or shipping factored in. So it's definitely it's got a hefty fee to even try to get one of these out of a box, and there's only so many of them out there. So, and they're not always available readily. I mean, one of the cards that I picked up, let's see, in my last video was this one right here, and you don't see these all the time. I don't want to say that they're super rare or anything, but they're not common. So it's nice to pick these up. So these are examples of cards that maybe have a little bit more lineage to them. Some ideas there. Just kind of depending on who you collect, again, is a big factor in that, and pretty much any of these. Let's go for some shiny parallels. So this is kind of a best of both worlds thing, because these all have some low numbers on them. They're all numbered to 7 there on the back. These are my first off the line optics ices from last year's optic. Got the blue, the green, and the red. In optic, just because it's a Panini product and it doesn't have the team licensing, you can get a lot of these really cheap, and they've got some incredible shine on them. I can't really show it off too well in this video. My still photography usually works better on showcasing these, but if you're someone who can't get past the lack of logos on Panini, it's understandable. I have an alternative for you. So this is a product that I like to kind of go to as a nice little a product that's nice for player collectors or team collectors, where they can get some pretty good deals on some nice shiny cards of their players. This is 2018 Topps Fire. So this is the base card, and this base card doesn't really stand out to me all that much. And actually the 1 of 1 version of this, which is the Inferno, especially the 19 one, doesn't do much for me. I don't know why, but I'm just not a fan of the Infernos, really. These ones, though, I really do enjoy. This one here on the left is the Flame. The one on the middle is the Blue Chip. The one on the right is the Gold Minted. These two in particular are two that I really am a big fan of, the Blue Chip and the Gold Minted. I just think they've got really solid look to them. So these are cards that are really, really affordable. You can get these for a couple bucks each. I don't think I paid more than $4 maybe for any of these at any given time. So, but you get some nice shine on it. So if you're someone who maybe you've been priced out of certain refractors on Topps Chrome, I know that even just the silver base refractor is getting kind of expensive for certain players, especially if you're someone who collects some of the guys that I mentioned earlier on. And a lot of this stuff, I would say, translates over into basketball, football, if that's more of your style of collecting or you like players from those teams. For example, Optic is probably closer to like a Topps Chrome, and so is Prism on the basketball and football side. So maybe there's a different product out there that has some shine that you can seek out as an alternative. I'm sure that if there's some of the not baseball, but some of the football and basketball guys, if they're watching, they might have some alternative ideas. And if you're one of those guys, you can leave a comment down below, because I'd love to hear what kind of products you think would kind of be the equivalent in the sport that you enjoy collecting. My knowledge of that is somewhat lacking compared to the baseball side. I can speak more confidently about the baseball stuff, so I don't really want to take a guess on some of the football or basketball, knowing I could be off on the values. But that was just something I figured I'd make a video on. I know this was a little bit of a longer video, but I thought it would be fun. Sometimes you can get some really good deals on cards, like this one I'll show right now. I made this video, I think, back in December when I picked up this card for $1. So sometimes you get really good deals. Sometimes you get lucky, like this one, for example. And if you're diligent, you can look at it and know what to look for. I think sometimes you can get some bargains, especially under $20. That's a really wide threshold to go in and get some cards for a really cheap price. So that is it for me today. I appreciate you guys checking out today's video. If you want, let me know what some of your favorite cards that you've picked up for hashtag Less Than a Blaster are. I'd love to hear them, or if you have videos, you can link them down below, and I'd be sure to check them out. One last note is that I'm probably going to do a 900 subscriber contest. It's not going to be a really big public thing. It's just going to kind of be a little passive type of deal. So stay tuned for that soon. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be sure to see you next time. Have a good one.